Welcome to a special edition of the Truth Hurts podcast. I can't talk. I was going through all the things I was going to say to open this one up, and I just completely fumbled it.
It's late. It's all good.
It's late, yeah, I guess.
Prime time, baby. Let's do it.
Can I start over again? I'm like that lady that was singing at the national anthem.
Yeah,
there we go.
party.
Let's do it again. Give me the logo.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
And welcome back to Truth Hurts, where we expose corrupt politicians and the lying corporate media. I'm Jake Duesenberg, your host, broadcasting in a special edition live from Roseville, Minnesota, in the belly of the beast, the liberal zombie apocalypse of Minneapolis, St. Paul. Nailed it! All right. Join me as always, Mr. MAGA Jesse. How you doing there, buddy?
Doing good. Yeah, we got a lot to get into. We'll be talking about, this is the last show we'll have before the election, so we'll be talking about, does Trump need to win? We'll be talking about some polling, especially the ridiculous poll that came out of Iowa, looking at some ads, some things that Trump said, and then we'll be finishing up maybe with some Minnesota news to wrap up the show here.
If you want to be part of the show, you can interrupt us anytime. Hit that Rumble Ram button, and we will read your comment live on air. Otherwise, we'll be reading Rumble and YouTube and maybe some Facebook comments. Running the dials, as always, Mr. Deep State himself, Dawson. How you doing, Dawson?
It's me. I'm good. I boxed earlier today, so I'm ready for another fight. Let's do this.
There you go. Our great sponsor today, Warren Wessel of Keller Williams Realty. If you're looking to buy a home or sell a home, give Warren a call. Good conservative patriot. My friend Warren at 612-419-7453. If you're buying a home, give the good guys at John Galt Mortgage Company a chance at financing that home. You can go to johngaltmortgage.com, and we're also brought to you by Alpine Cabinetry in St. Cloud, Minnesota. Jesse, I want to do this one show before our Tuesday night live stream. We're going to be live streaming here. I don't know how long that's going to take. We're probably starting coverage at about 7:45 on Tuesday night. And Tushi wants to do predictions. Are you going to be joining us, by the way? I'm sorry, I should have asked you this before.
Not sure.
You're not sure yet? So Tushi wants predictions. So I think he wants your prediction too, so we could do them beforehand. We're going to have a party in the back, big watch party. We're going to be in here live streaming. We might have people come on set. It's going to be really fun. But, I've been meaning to do this show because the way I look at this election, it really is Trump's last election, okay? Now, hear me out on this, Jesse. I know you don't see eye to eye with me on it, and I'd love to hear how you think about this. You're definitely a big Trump fan. I'm not that big of a Trump fan. Obviously, I'm voting for the guy. If he wins constitutionally, this is the last time he's running, right? I mean, he can't run again.
Right. If he wins and he's in the White House, right, he gets his 4 years. And even though he's been cheated out of, a lot of time in office, even though he should have been able to be president, he had to fight all of the impeachments and whatnot. But even with that, the Constitution does say that he's only limited to the 2 terms. So, right.
And if he wins, he is going to go down in history as a 2-time winner, pretty much a winner in politics. Listen, Richard Nixon lost his first election at JFK, came back, won in 1968, won again in 1972, and then basically the CIA did a coup against him and overthrew him. Oops, did I say it live? Anyhow, by the way, not like I'd be a big Richard Nixon fan, FYI, but
right.
So Trump would go down in history as a 2-time winner with maybe a little caveat, this global pandemic, which seems to me maybe something that was orchestrated to knock him out of office. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm reading what I see, and that's what it kind of seems like. But at the very least, an election that was so abnormal because you also had just changed election laws. It was razor thin, close margins, obviously alleged cheating, definitely rigging, right? So I think history kind of forgets 2020 in some regard and looks at him as a historic winner. Now, if he loses, this is the thing. If he loses this thing, history will look at him as a loser, right? A 1-term president who lost twice after the fact. And it won't remember him kindly. And here's why I think this is going to be bad for him.
Unless it's rigged. I mean, if it's rigged, it's going to be rigged. And, would you call someone a loser for losing a rigged election?
But hold on. If it's rigged, then so how is he going to win in 4 more years against a rigged election, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So, and you also make the assumption that history will remember it's rigged. Like it's so evident. And I'm not certain that's the way the history books will be written.
Probably not. I mean, yeah, I mean, the history books will be written by the establishment, but I think that people have enough common sense that, especially in the age of the internet that we live in now, people can go back and watch things. I think that young Americans or future generations that aren't even around yet are going to be looking to people and asking, what that Trump era was all about, what it was really like to be living under it. And I think that the younger generations are going to be looking at it and saying, why were they freaking out so much? It looks like this guy was, looks like he was doing the right thing. It looks like he was a fairly good president. He had a good economy. He was taking care of the border. It's just his language that offends people. So I think history is going to remember him kindly. And, even if they want to rig it, he's going to be remembered as the guy who stood up to fight against the establishment in a way that no other politician ever has before, no presidential candidate in my lifetime. And I can't even, when was the last time we had a president or a presidential candidate who was coming with an axe, swinging to take out the establishment? It's really only Trump. You'd have to go back way into history to find someone who had the same kind of attitude.
I mean, I can't even think of someone in modern day history, and I'm guessing like last 100 years that I could think of. I mean, JFK obviously had some monumental differences than the establishment.
And Teddy Roosevelt maybe would have fit that description if he had won with the Bull Moose Party. But, hold on a second. I'm seeing we got a $50 Rumble Rant from Love Minnesota. Says, thanks for the extra show. Well, thank you for giving us that Rumble Rant. We appreciate it. I'm seeing we got some other comments here. Phil Cannon says, Trump will win. Joe will be disposed of, making Kamala the president, and she will refuse to give up power prior to the inauguration. I think that's a very real possibility. That or what's being said is that Nancy Pelosi and Jamie Raskin and these other top Democrats within the House are not going to recognize the victory by Trump. They're going to try to impeach him before he's even in office. They're going to try to say that he's ineligible for office.
They're going to do that. Yeah, it's just you look at me, Dawson, like that's not going to happen. That's 100%.
Yeah, Jamie Raskin has said it publicly.
I was just curious where you were hearing that. I didn't.
Oh, he's literally said it. But
Jamie Raskin.
Look, if they are doing let's do this here real quick. We didn't want to do too much show prep. We want to talk. We just want to talk. Okay, but I had to do this. Okay, this is the freaking crazy election cycle we've had. Okay, since 2022. Let's do the major headlines. Let's do 5 major headlines here on Trump. Number 1. This is A1. The FBI raids Mar-a-Lago. Never has this happened in the history of America. It's not just that they went after a former president, which is bad enough. They're going after the lead contender for the White House. Trump, by most measures, was leading the whole time against Biden.
Mm-hmm. And this case was dropped, meaning that they felt the need to raid his home over a case where they didn't even have the evidence to continue to pursue charges. So, it just shows how crazy the establishment is. They went to lengths just to try to bury and tarnish Trump's name when really all it does is help him, because we see that the justice system, and we see that all of this has become weaponized and politicized against their political opponents. It's become weaponized against Trump, Republicans, the America First movement, patriots, Christians, anybody who wants to stand up and fight the system. So, they realize that's why Kamala doesn't say she's a prosecutor anymore. That's why they don't have ads about it. It's because they realize that it's unappealing. Nobody wants to vote for that. And when they show that Trump is getting all these indictments and whatnot, when they raid his home, it makes people support him even stronger.
Okay, well, there you go. That's number 2 here. The headlines just keep piling up, and I don't want to point to one. I'm going to point to all 4. 4 federal indictments. At one point was over 90 charges for Donald Trump. What did we have? Let's see. It starts with an indictment in New York, right? Which eventually he's found guilty on 34 made-up felony counts. By the way, it's really funny to talk to people that have no freaking clue what they're talking about. And they go, yeah, he's a felon. He was found guilty of felonies. And I go, yeah, and do you know what that is? What was it? Mm-hmm. I don't know anyone that knows. I'm serious. They don't know. Right. It's so ridiculous. Because there really isn't. We don't know. They connected 2 crimes. It's so ridiculous. It's so easily manufactured. What they did is they took 2 misdemeanors and made it a crime in and of itself. And like an unprecedented way too. Like you don't have to say you don't have to all agree he was hiding one crime. You could pick you could a la carte pick one of these 3 different things. Mm-hmm. And then it was just like a business, what do they call it? The way they accounting, way they accounted for it, like legal services, right? It's so ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Okay, so 4 indictments. So that's number 1. Then number 2 is the classified documents case. Then number 3 is the insurrection. Oh, not insurrection. I guess they didn't really charge him for insurrection, but what did they initially charge him?
Are you saying the federal?
The Washington, D.C.
right,
Jack
the
Smith
Jack
case.
Smith
yeah.
one, right? Yeah.
And then fourth one, because that one just seems ridiculous. And then the fourth one is the Georgia one, which was just such a joke of a case right there. Which he was literally being charged
with Fannie Wilson, her boyfriend.
Yes.
And Nathan Wade, I think there's proof that he went to the White House and was coordinating with the White House. He's the boyfriend of Fannie Willis. They're sleeping together. They're going to cabins together. Who knows? Who knows of those people? I don't know what's going on.
But he was getting charged under RICO.
Yeah.
This is crazy. So, 4 charges. Okay. Third
when it was the government that was really, guilty of RICO charge. They're the ones who are conspiring in an illegal and criminal way against a political point. It's like, if anyone should be charged with RICO crimes, it's Joe Biden, Kamala, Fannie Willis, and Nathan Wade.
Yep. Okay. So if Trump is impeached prior to the inauguration, would that make J.D. Vance president?
I was looking at that question too.
You can't impeach someone that's not in office. So no, you can't.
Right.
There's no impeachment for someone that hasn't been inaugurated yet. Is that like the legal gray area?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see that time period, because, like I said before, Kamala Harris is going to be the one on that VP stand who's going to have to be, as Mike Pence thought, the human conveyor belt. Let's see her just move those along. Let's see her move those Trump victories along. I can't wait for it.
It's actually interesting. So if Trump is found he was found guilty in New York. If he gets sentenced in New York, but he wins the presidency on Tuesday, I mean, what's going to happen? I mean, like, seriously, they're going to try. What are they going to try to do? Send him to Rikers? Like, he's going to say no. God, he's not going. This is crazy. Tucker, what is this? A Sunday stream? Yes, that's right, Tucker. We did this exclusively for you. We wanted to do a special stream before our Tuesday night show. Okay, so third one. This is the A3 Dawson. New York bans Donald Trump from doing business in New York and fines him $450 million. This one looks like it's going to be overturned by the, I want to say, Court of Appeals. I forgot New York, because the Supreme Court's not the top court in New York. Whatever the appeals court that he that heard his case, when they leaked, or I shouldn't say leaked, I don't think it's a leak. I think they literally make these transcripts available to the public. It looks like that's going to get overturned because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah. Letitia James, of course, we should say, she was the one who was campaigning to say, if I become Attorney General, we're going to get Trump. So she found the criminal before she found the crime.
That's right.
Meaning that, she found someone who she wanted to charge. She was willing to make up and do anything to connect the dots to try to accuse him. It totally failed again on that one too, because it only increased Trump's popularity.
Number 4. I don't know if you guys remember this. A little event happened in July 13th to be specific. Donald Trump almost was assassinated. He was literally hit in the head, in the ear, right, by a bullet. Or was it ricochet? Was it No, was it just shrapnel? Right. He was hit in the head by a bullet, and we still don't know, by the way, the motive of the kid that shot him. That was one of 2 assassination attempts. The second one would have been highly effective had Secret Service not cleared the next hole on the golf course, because the guy was ambushing Trump. I think he was there for like over 12 hours. Yeah. He was going to ambush Trump. I'm already forgetting, was it the 5th hole or whatever it was? And he was there in a position like right along the chain link fence to kill Trump. Now, on this case, kind of dumb, because I think it's always the way that they do it, in Secret Service, is you go at least one hole in front of the president. So they found the guy, and then apparently they shot it. That just seemed goofy too. Still this day that they shot at him. We haven't heard anything new about that case either. Yeah. Is that because DeSantis is whatever department that's investigating this doesn't leak it, or is the media just literally I bet you it's the media doesn't want to talk about it at all. So 2 assassination attempts. Then number 5. This comes after the first one.
If Kamala had an assassination attempt against her, they'd have her in a bulletproof glass shield everywhere she goes. She would be living in fear of everything and everyone. That's the thing. Trump has people trying to shoot him every corner he goes around.
Right.
And he still keeps doing all these outside rallies and whatnot. It shows he's tough. and it shows that he's willing to put his life on the line for what he believes in.
And I mean, there's still time. There's still a couple days. Who's to say that they don't try it again?
Yeah.
And who's to say they don't try it after the election, after he wins on Tuesday, which he's going to win on Tuesday. And then, the fifth, if I had to give you a fifth headline, which is unprecedented, in July, right before the DNC convention, the main candidate drops out.
Yeah.
Patriotically steps aside, the best thing for his country.
Yeah.
And so Donald Trump gets a new candidate. This is the crazy election cycle we're in. Now, of all these things, Donald Trump, I think, is going to overcome it all. All the polls right now, I shouldn't say all the polls. This crazy one in Iowa, that's so funny. But most of the polls are showing him at a dead heat or winning. And so, in this case, I think Donald Trump's path to 271 is... 271. You need 270, but the reason I say 271 is I don't see him getting 270. I see him getting 271.
Right. No, I think
at least
the fact that Kamala didn't have to go through any kind of primary, the fact that even Democrats realize that fact, that they think, I deserve the right to be able to vote for someone in a primary. They shouldn't have just thrown this out at the last minute. They said it was a conspiracy theory for the longest time that Joe Biden was going to be thrown out. They said that Joe Biden was sharp as a tack up until the debate. And even some of them after the debate were still saying that, which proves that they're willing to lie right to the American people's faces. And then, even Kamala Harris, she was saying how great of a debate that Joe Biden did and that he still was sharp. And a couple days later, of course, he drops out. And we're put in this new situation. It shows that these are the people that claim they love democracy, except when you want to subvert, the will of the people, which is supposed to be what democracy is all about. It's supposed to be about the people vote, and the vote of the people is what reigns supreme. That's what democracy means. But they don't even care about that because they realize Kamala could never win a primary, and they think that they can just put up this puppet. And I think that the American people see through it. I mean, I know the American people see through it, but
a portion enough to turn the election, because clearly a large portion of the population doesn't see through it, right?
Yeah, I mean, 40% or so, yeah.
Right, which is crazy. Razzle Dazzle says Trump can win Nevada, which he's going to win. He's going to win Nevada. That seems pretty... Do you agree with me on that? He's going to win Nevada.
Not on Nevada.
Nevada seems very obvious to me.
I got some other ones that I would for sure give to Trump.
North Carolina and Virginia. Virginia is not certain, but boy, would that be good. Not yet sure about the fraud in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan. Trump's going to win Wisconsin. Trump's going to win North Carolina, and Trump will win Nevada. Trump will win Arizona. He'll win Georgia. That's his path to the White House. I think he's going to win some ones that people aren't tracking. New Hampshire. I think New Hampshire is going to surprise people. In fact, J.D. Vance is in New Hampshire right now.
New Jersey's not going to flip, and New Jersey is going to be a lot closer than people expect.
Correct.
And that's got a competitive Senate seat, which, it's a rhino. Right. So it's not like it's all that exciting, but it is interesting that it's a competitive seat. The people are fed up there. They've got all kinds of corruption after Menendez had to resign. They got a corrupt governor. They just don't know who to trust out there. So some of them are starting to finally say, maybe we give a Republican a shot. So we'll just have to see how things shake out. But yeah, there's going to be a couple of races where things could totally flip, and things are looking very good for Trump in a lot of these swing states. He's going to carry Carrie Lake across the finish line in Arizona, which is beautiful. She'll be good in there. So not perfect. She's okay, but she's going to be good in there compared to a lot of the others. So things are looking good. I don't think so about Nevada. They got a big time neocon candidate for the U.S. Senate. He's a veteran. He had his face blown up. Sam Brown, you've probably seen him. And unfortunately, he's taken that. He's become such a war hawk. And so he wants to bomb everyone because of it. And I get the feeling, this is probably something I shouldn't say, but I'll say it. He had his face blown up. I think that he's not going to win partially due to that fact. People don't want to look at that. People don't want to look at a burnt face when they're
they look at John Fetterman. What's your point?
Fetterman's
they
kind
look
of a
at the
character.
turtle. I don't think that's any different.
It's a little different. It's a little different.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being judgmental.
Wait,
but I get this feeling.
Wait, hold on. Tammy Duckworth, doesn't she? What is she?
She's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, but didn't she have like some facial? Now I'm having a blank.
Not that I know
Phil
of.
Cannon says you must be drunk if you think Trump is going to win New Hampshire. You heard it right here. New Hampshire. There you go.
Yeah, J.D. Vance is there.
New Hampshire. He's going to win New Hampshire. I think there's a chance he wins a good chance he wins New Mexico or Virginia. I think those are going to be some interesting
Virginia's
ones.
in play.
Now, if you're a Democrat, you think Kamala's going to win Iowa. This is hilarious to me. On the same day as an Emerson poll comes out and shows Trump, like every other poll, is going to win Iowa by 10 points, the Des Moines Register has a poll that shows Kamala winning 47-44 Trump.
Yeah.
It's like, like what? And all the Democrats go to my Twitter page, Dawson. Do you need me to put it in the? Or do you have it readily available?
I'll get it up quick.
Because I had, I think I posted MSNBC. I mean, like, this is their last hope here. Go ahead and get that right there.
Okay, we got failed candidate with a $5 rubber band asking, can Trump win Minnesota? I would say, is it possible? Absolutely. Things are close enough for that to happen. It's all about turnout, but the Democrats have such a machine here, and because they have outraised the Republicans on every single metric and outspent the Republicans on every single metric, I wouldn't put money on Minnesota going to Trump, but there's going to be a lot of other states where he can win. So it's going to be closer in Minnesota than it's been before. I think that Trump is going to get the most votes that he's ever gotten in Minnesota than he's gotten before, or at least the highest percentage.
Yeah, I wouldn't agree with that.
The
if he
highest
does, then he
percentage.
wins Minnesota.
Well, I think the highest percentage he's gotten is something like 45.8 or something like that. So
I don't think he wins Minnesota. If he wins Minnesota, this thing's more of a landslide than anyone was expecting.
Yeah.
Because my numbers are to get him over 300, which would be a landslide, he's going to get, before Minnesota, he's going to win the whole entire blue wall. So
Right.
Michigan and Pennsylvania.
And RFK
And then he
Jr.
pulls off something like
is,
Virginia.
Right. And RFK Jr. is still on the ballots here in Minnesota, so that's going to take a percent or so away, which not every single
Which
one of
polling
those
is
votes.
showing that.
Right. Not every single one of those votes will be a Trump person. There's going to be a majority of them that probably are a Trump person if it came down to it. But yeah, so there's a few states like that. I'm not counting on Minnesota, but if Minnesota flips, this is going to be a total blowout election.
All right, go back to the tweet. Hey, folks, let's run down through the polls we received in the past 3 hours. I'm going to let the collective IQ of the audience decide which one doesn't belong. Let's begin. National poll, Trump +2. Arizona, Trump +6.8. Nevada, Trump 5.4 or 5.5. North Carolina, Trump +3.6. Iowa, Harris +3. Georgia, Trump 1.8. Iowa, and this is the Emerson poll I was talking about, Trump 10.5. Virginia, tie. Pennsylvania, Trump +1.7. Michigan, Trump +1.5, Minnesota, Harris +5, and Wisconsin, Trump +1.3. Do you see that? By the way, he doesn't need Minnesota. Wouldn't that all be great? We'd love to see Trump win Minnesota. Doesn't need Minnesota.
Yeah,
he
Phil
can't
Cannon
lose
says
Iowa.
Kamala will win by 5. I don't think it's going to be 5. I think it's going to be closer than that. I think it's going to be more like 3 or 4. It's going to be very close.
Failed candidate says Royce will get 45%. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, Tucker says truth hurts and football good combo. So you're probably watching the
No, I mean, listen,
Vikings-Colts
I'm
game.
saving you guys. Don't watch the Vikings, you know? Just like don't watch the Cowboys and don't watch the Bears. I mean,
Well,
come on, let's just
Viking-
be
you know,
honest.
Vikings
and
are such
Packer
a-
fans not doing well today. Listen, much better just talk about politics.
Yeah.
All right. What's this video you want me to see now?
Oh yeah. Let me see what line this is on the document
The
here.
last one?
Yeah, Dawson, it's D5. This is an awesome video I found. It's a Trump rap, America First rap, and it's got this AI. Video going along in the background. It's very cool.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and play it.
You tell me this is AI?
I got love for every nation. I got love for all races. I got love for all religions. Got love for so many places. No love for a politician, a congressman, or a senator. If the country that they put in first ain't the United States of America. No love for these politicians with corporate interests in other countries. Only one that I serve is God. I don't serve man, I don't serve money. No love for the people living in the USA, but always hating it. Got a lot I probably shouldn't say to y'all. Matter of fact, I'll just pray on it. I'm pro-life, pro-God, pro-gun, not ashamed of it. You're worshiping military, killing babies, mutilating children, yelling Satanists. Supporting the troops in their tour doesn't mean that you're supporting the war. Supporting the freedoms that they fighting for doesn't mean that you're supporting the gore. Supporting the country I live in and loving it doesn't mean blindly supporting the government. The world that we live in is trouble. Let's turn off the media. We should defund and supporting America for other nations does not make me a racist. If you like communism so much, I'll pay for your vacation. America first, the people are hurt. Got vets in the street with nothing to eat and nowhere to work. Sending our dollars overseas and funding these wars. No love for these politicians if they're not America first. America first. This countries protect their borders. It's not a controversial subject. I say cause the southern border, it seems to get people upset. I don't care what names you call me. We in $40 trillion of debt. Uncle Sam takes half your money, then you get a low refund check. I am America first. Kamala cares a better purse. I never sell out to people to raise my net worth. The Second Amendment is there to always protect my first. I'm a better rapper than Meg Thee Stallion, and I don't even have to curse. Let's keep the American dream alive and put an end to all the lies.
Oh, wow, look how
raised
good this
billions.
is.
Yeah.
And what did they do for black lives? Politicians promise you the whole world, then they backslide. What happened to Hunter's laptop? You know I'm most strapped up. Gun rights are human rights. Feminists been sold a lie. You can mess around and find out. Play stupid games, win a stupid prize. God bless the whole USA, even the ones you hate me. Still fighting for you today, and no globalist paid me. America first, the people are hurt. Got vets in the street with nothing to eat and nowhere to work. Sending our dollars overseas and funding these wars. No love for these politicians if they're not America first. America first.
Interesting.
I think Trump. You can end it there, Dawson. So I think Trump. He's going to win the young vote. If more people see that, he's going to win the young vote. He's going to win the young vote. I mean, AI is getting a little out of control. I mean, obviously people can tell it's AI, but it's still really cool that, you know, and it's creative as hell. And yeah, I mean, I thought it was awesome. It's so cool. And you know, the message of it is 100% accurate. It's so cool. You know, there were so many good lines in there. I don't even want to quote it, but it's too good.
Don't watch the professional sports. They took a knee. I don't know. I still like professional sports. I just hate when my team loses.
Yeah.
Dawson, what was the video you wanted me to watch?
Oh, I've got the ad that. So we looked at an ad the other day about like women.
Common sense, vote common sense,
yeah,
or something like that.
You should lie to your husbands about whatever.
Great message.
Yeah.
Great message for politics. Lie to your husbands.
Sorry, let me pull it up.
That's the left today.
So
crazy.
they made a second one that was it's directed towards men and their friends, as far as I can tell.
Wait a second. This is the same beginning here.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very, very close.
All right, let's see it.
Come on, boys. Let's make America great again. It's your turn, buddy.
Before you cast your vote in this election, think about how it'll impact the people you care about the most.
Daddy!
Remember, you can vote any way you want, and no one will ever know.
Do your patriotic duty.
You bet I did, brother.
What
Oh
happens in
my
the booth
God.
stays in the booth.
Oh my God.
Vote Harris Walls.
Wow.
Oh my God. Oh man. Dude, have
Yeah.
you seen the what's that dork's name? Harry Sisson, is that right?
Something
that
like
the,
that. I don't care.
Am I
now.
saying that right?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Just type in Twitter, Harry Sisson. I'm
How do you spell that?
having a brain fart. Is that the guy that's in that band? Or is that
No, that's the guy that's
Okay. Type in Harry
one who
Sisson
says
on
that-
Twitter.
Yeah.
Watch this. Like
He's
Okay,
just
so he's got a bunch of
propagandist for the left.
How do I spell that?
Sisson. There you go, right there, top one. This guy, yeah, he's like he paid propagandist for the Kamal. But lately, he's been posting a bunch of like trying to be bro pictures. Keep going down. Yeah, keep going down. He's like, look, a bunch of like here, straight white dudes for Kamala Harris. It's like, are you? Are they all? I mean, maybe one of those is
And
straight.
I thought they were supposed to be ashamed of being white men, right?
Yeah, I
You
know,
It's
right?
like now they're trying to use it for identity politics. You know, it's it just shows how ridiculous.
No, keep going
these
down. No,
people
I
are.
gotta show this. This is so funny. This is like their attempt. Like at least the cast on that one was better. Like those kind of do look like bros. Keep going down. These guys like literally. There you go. There. Look at this. Like no one believes you guys are straight white men. Well, they believe you're white. They don't believe you're straight. There you go. There's another one.
You're gonna say you don't know if these guys are straight, knowing full well what Donald Trump did this weekend to a microphone on stage?
What did he do on stage?
Yeah, I've got a funny little video right here.
Go ahead.
Give me a second.
Razzle Dazzle says, "You going up Friday?" Yes, 100%. Yep, it is. no matter what happens, we will be deer hunting this weekend. Now, will there be deer? I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't think there's any important audio, but I'll turn it up.
This is after 4 of these things. I mean, in all fairness, I mean, I'm a human being, right? I come in, and here's the problem. I said, oh, man, it's too low. I said, it's too low. So, way too low.
They don't even need Tony Hinchcliffe. They don't.
They don't.
He's good. He really is literally quite the entertainer. It is so amazing. You know, did you see the Freudian slip by Doug Emhoff, or what is his name?
Yeah, Emhoff. Yeah.
Was that the guy who said the N-word on
No, it's
air?
Kamala. It's Kamala's husband.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay. Just type in on Twitter Doug Emhoff. He's got this really interesting slip about how Kamala got her job.
Oh.
What was the name again?
Doug Emhoff was Emoff.
Yeah, and there might be an E on the end.
Yeah. Don't type made behind it.
Emhoff?
Emhoff.
Emhoff.
This guy?
Yeah, that guy. No, don't go on his. No, he's not going to be posting it. Just type his name in. I'm sure it's going to come up right away. Doug Emhoff. I doubt people are putting Douglas when they do that.
Emhoff.
Just type in Doug Emhoff. How cool is that they got the Sphere in Vegas?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think they probably got to get rid of that thing. Isn't it causing a bunch of accidents and whatnot?
No, I mean the Sphere is going to do. Okay, that's the one right there. Right there. Click on that. This is so great.
Kamala did what Kamala always does. She just put her head down and she went to work. Kamala did what Kamala always does. She just put her head down.
I mean, the funny thing is, at this point, these guys are talking so much. It's like you can clip so many things. But
Yeah.
oh my God, I just love that. Willie Brown would agree with that one. Joining us on set for the first time ever is the leading candidate for president, Donald Trump. How you doing there, Donald? Good to see you in studio. I'm doing great, Jake. Everyone's fantastic.
Oh, man, don't tell me we're doing this bit.
Yeah, I totally forgot that I had him in studio this whole time. We come in, and Dale had a bunch of these things hanging around here. Apparently, he really loves Donald Trump. By the way, you didn't get his thumbs up, Dawson. He's giving us a thumbs up. It means we're going to do very good, very good.
There we go.
Look at that.
Fantastic.
First time in studio with Donald Trump. Isn't this amazing?
Not much for
He liked the music video.
He did. Thought it was fantastic. Let me ask you this question. What did you watch the whole John Fetterman on Joe Rogan? Okay, I want to talk about
I had to
this.
increase the speed to get through Fetterman's slow talking, but yeah, I got through it.
Yeah, Fetterman literally is still reading the iPad.
Yeah.
So I guess it hears the audio and then like types it out for him, and they had to fix at one point.
Yeah, like 15 minutes in or something.
So Dawson, do me a favor real quick. Just open up YouTube real quick and type in. I'm assuming what happened here, Jesse, the timing on this one is they sent in John Fetterman, the Kamala campaign sent in John Fetterman as like the surrogate for her campaign because she won't do Joe Rogan. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't think it was selected by the Kamala campaign. I think that it was selected by Joe. I think that Joe said, okay, if Kamala's not going to come in, I got to try to get some Democrat. He's the Democrat for Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is an important state in this election, so I think I'll get John Fetterman. And also, I think he picked someone that he was mentally smarter than. I mean, it's like if I was gonna pick an argument with the senator, I'd probably pick John Fetterman too. I'd say, give me the fat dummy. I got him.
All right, type in Rogan Fetterman, and this will come right up. I'm just going to show you something. This is really fascinating. So there it is, 1.2 million views on YouTube. Okay. Now type in Rogan Vance. And I haven't made it. Vance almost did 4 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Although a portion got cut out because they had some big technical glitch. What's that say? 13 million views?
Yep.
And then type in Rogan Trump, which I believe when we looked in the pre-show, it's still not coming up when you search it. Yeah, it's still not coming up. But if you click on Powerful JRE and videos, you'll find that Rogan is with Trump is the second highest on the YouTube channel. It's 44 million views. So whether it was Kamala that sent Fetterman or Joe Rogan reached out to it, it's like there's no appetite by the world's greatest interview, the largest audience, for John Fetterman or for the Democrats. Now, when I watch this thing...
Well, Fetterman is the most palatable to an audience like that of the Democrat U.S. senators. I mean, he's the one that's the most relatable. I mean, honestly, it's not that I hate the guy. I mean, if he was my neighbor, I'd be like, John's a good guy. But if, except when he chases down black teens with guns, right? Do you remember that one?
Oh, yeah, when he was mayor.
Right. So, that's the guy that, they want to pretend like is a progressive sometimes. But, yeah, he's obviously a nice enough guy, but, that doesn't mean that he should be a U.S. senator. And he's only there because he ran against Dr. Oz. I mean, Dr. Oz was a carpetbagger and, a celebrity doctor. And, awful candidate. He was a Muslim. I always think Muslims in Pennsylvania, that goes together. So he, I mean, John Fetterman's only there because he is a well-known name in the area in Pennsylvania, well-liked, his personality, but he obviously doesn't have the mental acuity and functionability to actually do the job of a U.S. senator. Anybody that has to read like that, it's if he was audio impaired, if he was deaf or something, that's one thing. And John Fetterman in the interview, he compared his situation to wearing glasses. He said that that my problems are like wearing glasses. It's like that's not true. Someone that wears glasses can still get out words properly when they're not wearing their glasses. So it was an interesting interview. I'm glad that Joe had some Democrat on. I'm glad that there was a Democrat willing to sit down and talk with him instead of just demonize him. But it showed how out of touch these Democrats are. They send in a brain dead guy who was just, he's using the DNC talking points. I think after the stroke, too, the Democrats propagandized him a little bit. And I have problems with Fetterman because he uses this sympathy thing. He gets donations like no other senator, and it's all from the grassroots. And it's because he's using the sympathy card on them again and again and again. Even when he was in the depression facility or whatever, he needed campaign money. It's like, what are you doing here? Everything is set up, and they're using him as a puppet. They're using him as a tool. I don't hate John Fetterman.
Well, you don't think he's a tool?
He partially is, but I don't think he has the wherewithal to really know
he
what
makes
he's
it
doing.
sound like he's got the cognitive. He just has a speech problem. By the way, Tucker says Darnold just threw an interception in the end zone. See, we're saving you guys, the Viking fans. We're saving you guys from watching this. Don't watch the Vikings. By the way, the other thing about the NFL, it's like just watch the second half. Like the Vikings of all teams can show you can come back in the second half. They had the greatest comeback ever. It was a couple years ago. Razzle Dazzle is a great supporter. He says, let's watch that Shanahan video. So we will do that. Just let me finish this point. So Jesse, I think the Democrats wanted him on Joe Rogan because he's relatable. He literally goes out of his way to wear the hoodie with shorts, which, by the way, I'm just going to say, when I'm at home, that is pretty much my outfit. Now, I don't know if I've seen him in Crocs, so I might be a little less classy than him. But, yeah, Crocs, shorts, that's what I basically wear when I'm not in the office. Okay? So, but when I go to the office, I dress up at least some bit, You don't have to wear a suit. So the fact he wears this stuff all around is a little ridiculous.
Well, and he was being dishonest in what he was talking about at the beginning there, too, where he says, they act like I was the one who made a big deal about it. You were the one who made a big deal about it because you're the one who dresses like a slob. And also, And
he tries to own that term slob.
Right, exactly.
But I felt he was relating to people, and then he gets into the depression, and it is sad, and I feel bad for him because you don't want people to have depression. But then, Jesse, he literally, then Rogan, and it's only a 2-hour conversation, right? And Joe is the one that ends it, by the way.
Yeah.
Joe ended I think Trump.
I was also thinking, I got to look at the transcript. I don't know how many times Kamala's name was said. Maybe once. The entire podcast.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking, and that's
maybe
it.
Once.
He missed his one talking point he should have gone in there for, right?
Right, to push Harris walls.
But it wouldn't have came up naturally. And I don't think Rogan's trying to do gotcha, but Rogan literally wants to talk some issues. And he goes, I just don't understand the arguments against voter ID. And all of a sudden, Fetterman doesn't have any great argument against it. And it's all, and this is the trick that politicians use. You guys have probably noticed this before. When they don't have a good answer, what they say is we need to have a conversation. It's the most bullshit thing ever. You hear every politician. It's like they get trained to say it, but I don't think so. I think they just naturally go to, and I have no idea where this term came from because this is somewhat relatively new. I think in the last decade. I've been following politics for multiple decades. It's a new term. And they say we need to have a conversation, meaning you don't have a good answer. We need to have the conversation. So that's what he said, is we need to have a conversation.
He also said, I'm not willing to die on the Hill, basically saying that he still doesn't want voter ID, but he's not willing to die on the Hill. And, that's the thing he says, this and that. Another thing he said on that podcast, people said they were all surprised when I was, for border enforcement and whatnot. It's like, that's because you campaigned as like an open border guy.
Right.
That's because you campaigned as, we need more immigrants and whatnot. So it's like, no wonder people thought that about you. So he's only playing this character that he's in favor of border security because he represents a swing state. He's going to run for re-election. That's the whole game. And what I was going to say about the dress code thing, he was being dishonest there because he was just trying to change the rules for himself. He wasn't trying to change the entire rules of the Senate. He wasn't trying to change the rules for the staff. It was all about himself. And so he wants to have this revisionist history, but I don't blame him because he probably doesn't remember. He doesn't have the capability to remember. He was using the DNC talking points on voter ID, on immigration, and especially on that border bill. When he was talking about the border bill, luckily Joe Rogan called him out and said, but that promises amnesty, and that does this and this and this and this. And Fetterman basically played dumb, which, that's why Fetterman, his answer on immigration was just, we need a consensus. We need a bill that passes.
And he just goes back to, we need to have the conversation. It's like, motherfucker, we've had the conversation many times.
Yeah.
What do you got to close the border.
Right.
You got to close the border now. And there's no pathway to citizenship for the people that are here illegally. I know it's not feasible to, literally round everyone up and deport them, but, I mean, you can't just allow them to be here if you know of it, and you don't give them driver's licenses. Razzle Dazzle, I don't know. I tried searching the Nicole Shanahan commercial. I know of a commercial, and it's got, her and, Tulsi Gabbard and RFK in it. Is that what you're referring to? Or is there something different? Can you give us a little hint on what you're, or if you want to text a link to me, that could be helpful too. But I was trying to find it. If I just YouTube it, I didn't see it. McSalty says Fetterman was absolutely not playing dumb. Well, I don't know. I mean, he kind of is dumb in some regards. Because, listen, this is the thing about Fetterman. It's like, oh, he's like one of us. He's like this down-to-earth kind of guy. It's like, no, he's the same old politician. He's using the same old bullshit and doesn't have good answers on things. By the way, I'm probably an hour left to go with J.D. Vance. How impressive is J.D. Vance? And I'm trying not to be biased here just because I agree with J.D. Vance more than John Fetterman. Because quite frankly, John Fetterman doesn't, bother me in the sense that, he does seem like he's got some humble roots. Although, with that being said, doesn't he come from a wealthy family and didn't he go to the Ivy Leagues?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it is kind of like a fraud there.
Where did Vance go to school?
He went to Harvard or something like that.
J.D. Vance doesn't come from wealth.
Where did he
at
go to
all? And he goes to, Vance go to Yale? No, he went undergrad to Ohio State and then Yale Law School. Which, I have this bias against Ivy League, but when you're like J.D. Vance and you come from literally a shit whole lifestyle.
It wasn't what it is now either. If you look at it, what it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago,
when did
it had more prestige, and it's only been losing its prestige more recently because of how
but I still would have been
political they are.
I still would have been biased towards the Ivy Leagues.
Why do you have a bias towards Ivy Leagues?
Just because I feel like there's
it's the snobby elites.
Yeah, the snobby elites. For instance, every single Supreme Court justice, basically in the last many decades, until what's her name, the one the female that Cody Barrett, because she's Notre Dame. All of them were Yale or Harvard Law School.
Does that? Why does that mean that they're bad?
Well, it doesn't mean that they're bad. It just means, I think, at a certain point when you're just taking, for instance, an institution like the Supreme Court, and you're only taking people that came from a certain two schools, you're not really going to cross-section the United States. And so, to me, it's it's better to get people... listen, when it comes to, I can't tell you how much I hate the fact that the World Series was a New York and a Los Angeles team, right? I have this bias towards the Big Ten. In fact, the Big Ten sucks because now we have West and East Coast in it. I guess we kind of always had Maryland and, many decades, but now we have the USC and Washington in the freaking Big Ten. The Big Ten was supposed to be the Midwestern division, right? So I always had this bias towards, maybe that's just the Midwestern part of me. I hate the flyoverness of the Midwest, and I think we got a lot to offer.
I guess I do kind of understand Ivy Leaguers who are like, oh, I'm better because I went to Yale or whatever. Like, yeah, those guys are dicks, but I guess that I don't share that same. I don't think that people who go to Ivy League schools are like.
No, clearly not. I think J.D. Vance is a fine person, and the other thing is, it's one thing for you to just come from this power and prestige, a family and stuff like that, and then you go to the Ivy Leagues. Of course, you went to Ivy Leagues. Another thing when you're have no money, you work up and you get like J.D. Vance had everything working against him. And by the way, a white male too, right? It's they're not trying to find more white males to go to Yale. So he must have done really well in school, right, to get to Yale, right?
Back then, I don't think that schools were super worried about. We have to have enough black people in the school for.
Oh yeah, of course they were. He's younger than me. This would have been less than 20 years ago.
When was affirmative action created?
90s.
Yeah.
Of course they were this way. Yeah, this is not that new. I've got Razzle Dazzle sent it to me, Dawson. I think it's was it C5?
C5.
Let's watch this Nicole Shanahan video or commercial.
What will we do with this moment? How will we be remembered? Look at the opportunities before us.
Oh, yeah,
this election really isn't about the left versus the right. It's about we the people choosing our government and the choice between freedom versus tyranny.
Nobody has a chronic disease burden like we have. Why are we allowing this to happen to our children? Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other.
What is going on here is deeper than politics. It is deeply spiritual. We are being called to rise above the hatred and the fear and the evil.
We need to remember above and beyond that we must love our neighbors, that we must treat other people as we hope to be treated.
You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative.
America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing.
Oh, man, he's such a nerd.
Don't you want healthy children? Don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again?
I come to you today as a former Democrat. I will be a first-time Trump voter tonight.
The people dreamed this country, and it's the people who are making America great again.
That's a great commercial for the base. No doubt about it. That's what it's meant for. Is to
and also independence and whatnot. There are a lot of people that, maybe not a lot, but Tulsi Gabbard ran for president. She voted.
Yeah, but they're not convincing people. This is the coalition that's probably already on board, and it's to motivate them again.
Maybe.
Right? Bring them in, say, yes, that's right. We got to do everything we can all the way up to Tuesday.
Yeah,
they're not convincing people. I didn't know Tulsi Gabbard I follow endorsed Trump, right?
Maybe. I don't know. It is, it's for the independent-minded people. It's for the anti-war people. It's for the health freedom people. It's for those people to, get the message. Because, the way I see this election, it's basically Liz Cheney versus Tulsi Gabbard. And not that that's a perfect representation of things, but those are the two party switches of what's gone on in this election. It's peace versus war hawks. And, the Republican Party is totally the party of peace now, which is crazy to say, especially with Trump. It's not like you look at Trump and you think peace. No. He's still a tough guy. He's still strong. He still wants America first, but he's the only one. You have to come in with that negotiating plan to be able to get peace. You have to be tough to get peace. So I also see Glenn Cotton said predictions for electoral college results. I would predict it at 306.
Oh, let's do this. Let's do
Republicans.
this. Let's end the show on that. I want to bring up.
Here, we also got to play the cracker video.
Yeah, but I want to. So we're gonna end the show. I'm gonna actually. We'll pull up the map and I'll show you what I think the map's gonna look like. Actually, I'll give you a couple scenarios. But let's do this. Dawson, go back to my Twitter account and you got to look up yesterday's tweets, and it's gonna be, or was this November 2nd? Yeah, today's November 3rd. Look at Trump speaking to Tucker Carlson. Now that's when SNL completely copied a previous year. Okay, this have you guys seen this? Liz Cheney. Apparently Trump was calling for people to assassinate Liz Cheney.
Oh yeah.
And not making this up, the Attorney General of Arizona wants to investigate this and look at criminal charges. So we'll add a fifth indictment. And check this out. This is what he said.
And I don't blame him for sticking with his daughter, but his daughter is a very dumb individual, very dumb.
Start with Dick Cheney.
She's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. You know, when the guns are trained on her face.
Exactly.
You know, they're all war hawks when they're sitting in Washington in a nice building saying, oh, gee, let's send 10,000 troops right into the mouth of the enemy. But she's a stupid person.
Okay. Now click to the, yes. Now look at how the media covered this. Trump suggests, I gotta open up my thing. Trump suggests Warhawk Liz Cheney should have guns trained on her face. Trump says Warhawk Liz Cheney should be fired upon in escalation of violent rhetoric against his opponent, CNN writes. Is this NPR? NPR. Trump attacks Liz Cheney using violent war imagery. Trump suggests Liz Cheney should have guns trained on her face. Mm-hmm. And then go back out and look at the tweet. I think it's right below it. Yeah, this is on MSNBC right here. Go ahead.
Reporter from our NBC affiliate in Phoenix, KPNX, joins us. Talk about this breaking news regarding Donald Trump's comments that he made about Liz Cheney in Arizona last night. The Attorney General is responding?
That's right. I just spoke to Attorney General Chris Mays about 2 hours ago for the taping of my Sunday show. She told me she just gotten off the phone with her criminal division chief, and she was investigating whether what Donald Trump said about Liz Cheney constituted a death threat under Arizona law. All right. I'll tell you.
This is literally the desperation the Democrats are in at this point.
Yeah.
We're going to investigate this. Listen, it's very obvious what he's talking about. Right. She's a chicken hawk. She didn't go over. She wasn't in the military. She never had guns trained on her. He is suggesting if she did, she would have a different tune.
Yeah.
He's not suggesting train. I mean, come on. What are we doing here?
Yeah. And,
jeez,
and
they've
funny,
lost their...
Even leftists who, went on the attack on Trump for this have even had to come back and retract their statements because it's so obvious that he's calling her a chicken hawk. That's what the argument is. And, it's been said so many times before that, if somebody loves war so much, you go and fight for it yourself. And that's the argument that he's making. And, it's interesting that the Arizona Attorney General wants to pursue criminal charges because, she was illegitimately elected. It was the election was decided by 300 votes. I'm not so sure about that. I think Abe Hamadeh is the real Attorney General. He's luckily going to be in Congress now. He's one of the newest members who's going to be in the next Congress. It's nice to see that a real America First candidate will be in Congress like Matt Gaetz. But, it just shows that, they have nothing. If they want to use that, I think it actually helps. That's the other point I'm seeing. When they use Liz Cheney and they use a lie, all it takes is anybody to watch the clip. They realize what he actually said. I almost like that they want to use lies because it's like, go ahead. People can see through it.
Mm-hmm. But think about this. Let's just imagine he's really you're taking his words literal here, okay? What he's literally saying then is she should enlist in the military and go over a war where firearms are trained on her.
Yeah.
So that's what he's suggesting.
No, he-
So why doesn't she just go enlist then and do it? But he's not suggesting. It's so obvious. He's just saying, hypothetically, you wouldn't be doing it. What do you got, Dawson? Are you going to tell me that this is there's really something here?
Yeah, so I don't think that presidents should be nearing any kind of rhetoric like that. I think it's nobody's
God.
political.
Liz Cheney is the one who actually wants to send people to die.
I think it's
you
great
but-
he says
but,
it. And by the
yeah.
way, I always thought,
you guys are
if I ever
words are
ran,
violent, right? Instead of the
Right.
actual wars that she wants to go and get people killed in,
you guys are
what
chill
he
with
says is more important.
What if Kamala Harris said that Trump should be there with guns trained on his face?
yeah, if he was a war hawk, I would agree with that.
He's not the one advocating for the wars.
Right.
People would go nuts. Is it just because Liz Cheney likes war? That's
that's the argument.
Well, that's the whole context of what he's talking about. God,
that's-
you're doing it to me too. Now I get what the audience is talking about.
But that makes it okay.
Right, he's calling her a chicken hawk. That's
Yes.
the argument.
She's definitely a chicken hawk.
I still think that's kind of weird. But here's a fun little Kamala Harris. 3 hours ago, she tweeted out a new policy that she wants to enact. Let's take a quick look. Kamala Harris is going to be legalizing recreational marijuana.
Yeah, so is Trump.
God, is that great?
And
Yeah.
unlike Trump, she's the one who decided to lock up people for marijuana for all those years. So now all of a sudden she has a change of heart. Really, it's almost like why hasn't Joe Biden done this? It's the Harris. It's the Biden-Harris administration. Why haven't they done anything on this? The only things they've done have been fake. They haven't done anything legitimate.
So dumb.
They did that thing where they said that, we're going to pardon anybody who has federal crimes against marijuana. There wasn't anybody locked up. There wasn't a single person for them to pardon. So they get that headline that makes them look great, but it doesn't mean anything.
They are so desperate. They're reaching for straws at this point. It's
right.
ridiculous.
That's all they want. They want America to get high. That's the only way people will vote for them.
Honestly, though, that's kind of base. America should get high.
No, people
but
can.
Trump's already.
Yeah, Trump is advocating for that too.
Yeah, he's for that policy. He was probably for that policy all along, decades ago.
He was for medical marijuana at the start of 2016. So, and it's not even that he's necessarily for recreational marijuana. It's more that he views it as a state issue, which is the way that it always should have been.
What was the video you wanted me to see before we go to our map?
Something?
Yeah. Let's see here. It is on line C3.
C3.
Yep.
C3.
So this is a good one. I think Trump is. This is a double entendre here of what Kamala really is. So go ahead and play this video.
New hat, huh?
She's a
It's
total
Proud Boys
train
stuff.
wreck. And by the way, I looked at her this morning. She had a little news conference. It lasted for like 2 minutes. She's exhausted. She's exhausted. She's a train wreck who is totally unqualified to be the president of the United States of America. There are some people who thrive under pressure, and there are some people who crack under pressure. She's a cracker. And the more pressure Kamala has, the more you see it happening. No, she's cracking.
Oh my God! Oh jeez!
It couldn't get any better. I mean, what an attack for him to call Kamala Harris a cracker. It's genius. It's so genius.
It's so good.
Yeah, and he's doing it in a way where it's not. He's not actually calling her a cracker. He's saying she cracks under pressure. She's a cracker.
She's a cracker.
It's beautiful. I loved it so much.
Holy cow! Oh man, this is why we want to see more of this. Trump is such a good entertainer in chief. All right, let's go to the map here. We didn't plan this. I think I was going to do this on election night, but the people want it. Okay, Glenn. Dawson, what happens is you're going to touch these states, and when you click on them, they're going to move one direction. So, yeah, just make Washington completely blue. Okay, got it? All right.
It just cycles through it?
Yeah, it just cycles through it. Okay, and then it changes the math up there. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to Nevada. Oh, we got to test his geographical knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to go to Nevada.
It shows which states are up there.
Yeah, I'm decent at this.
Okay, so you're going to go to Nevada and you're going to click.
I didn't go to an Ivy League school, but I was pretty close.
Right. Go to Nevada and click that red.
Full red or pink?
It doesn't matter, but just do full red just to make the map look nice. And then you're going to go to Arizona, you're going to go red, okay? Then you're going to go to Georgia, you're going to click that, and it's going to go red. Just to make a nice graphic, click on Texas and Florida and Iowa and just make those solid red. There you go. Okay, now we're looking good.
And Alaska.
And Alaska. There you go. And then you can click on Minnesota. Just make that solid blue. Make Virginia blue.
When you just
clicked on. Oh, see, solid blue.
Wasn't it?
And then click on North Carolina. Make that red. And then what I want you to do is I want you to make Pennsylvania blue, Michigan blue, and Wisconsin red. And then Nebraska is blue. The second, no, shoot.
Up the little.
The second district is, you're going to click on red. No, it was already red. Make it all red. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to click on, the 2 on there should be, in Nebraska should be blue. There you go.
How in the world does that work? Oh, their electoral votes are split up, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just one congressional district.
That's goofy.
Okay, I thought that math was too. I thought that math that I did was too. Oh, sorry. Take Nevada away. No, keep Nevada blue. Take Nevada away. Make that blue.
Nevada blue.
Nevada and go New Hampshire blue again. Sorry.
New Hampshire is
right there. Go up.
These are the ones I don't.
Nope, that red one up there. Okay, that's 272. You must have done something here. Well, anyhow,
took Nevada off.
No, I know, but I thought my math was 271 on that. Anyhow, so that I believe Nevada. So where I'm at right now, go back to Nevada. Click on
Maine.
Nevada.
Did you have Maine fully blue or something?
I think I did have Maine fully blue.
Yeah, but I think they're whatever it is, their second congressional district is always typically red.
Okay, keep that. All right. So in other words, I think with Nevada, so click on Nevada, make that red. That's what the map that's my minimum. That's the floor that I see for Trump right there. Okay. So he's going to win. Michigan and Pennsylvania are scary as hell to me. Michigan, I'm actually real scared about. Pennsylvania, I think, is a coin flip. I think he wins I think he's winning the Sun Belt. I feel real good about Nevada, and Wisconsin's going to flip Trump. Okay. Do you disagree with that?
Yeah.
Do you think that's a floor?
The way I would do it, I would change Nevada, I would change Michigan, and I would change Pennsylvania.
So Michigan goes red.
Nevada goes blue. Michigan goes red, and Pennsylvania goes red.
His early returns in Nevada look great. And so that's interesting.
Yeah, that's how I see things going. I mean, the one that I could see,
So you think he takes the whole blue wall?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that I actually think that Michigan is the most likely of the
Do you
three.
think this is his baseline?
I honestly, the one that I see potentially flipping is Pennsylvania because there's too much fraud. So if I were to see one of those three...
Take Pennsylvania and
so
put it blue.
Turn Pennsylvania blue.
So that's his floor, 287?
Yeah.
Okay, and my floor for him was 278, and the difference is you gave him Michigan. Okay, So here's where I would go. So my floor, so I put Nevada back to red, and then go Michigan and turn that blue. Take Pennsylvania, make that red. Put New Hampshire in red. Okay, there's my path 300. Okay. And then this is the landslide that I think potentially happens. Take Virginia, go red. And Michigan, go red. I mean, that's a crushing defeat. And I think there's a chance, go ahead and move New Mexico red, that could happen. Okay.
And even New Jersey.
I'm not going to put New Jersey. I don't think New Jersey happens. So the 334 is my ceiling for Trump right there. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be the biggest shocker in the world that he takes Minnesota because, it is close, but I just don't think he's taking Minnesota. That to me right there is the ceiling for Trump. Okay.
And even Colorado, Colorado is, it's funny. I think Colorado would flip before New Mexico and New Jersey.
Now, here's the Kamala problem. Put New Hampshire back to blue. Put the blue wall back to blue, or Nevada back to blue. Put New Mexico to blue. and then give her the blue wall. So Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Okay, see that? So she basically, and I got a thing in my way. Is Nevada blue or is it red right now?
Nevada is blue right now.
Okay, what am I missing here? Virginia. Virginia was still red. There you go. So Virginia's blue. So that is why Trump has to crack the blue wall. The blue wall states of Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Trump doesn't have a path forward if he doesn't crack that blue wall. I mean, he's not flipping Virginia, but losing Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, right? So he's got to crack that. Now, take Nevada away from Kamala because she's not doing well there. See how she still has 270? She's
they have
got
a
the
Republican
victory.
governor
I know.
in Nevada.
Right. So she still has the victory there. She cannot afford, because he's doing so well in the Sun Belts, she cannot afford to lose one of those blue wall states. Her path to victory is so hard. Basically, let's just give Wisconsin, like I said, back. Actually, you know what would be fun? Give Pennsylvania to Trump. Because really, this election came down to Pennsylvania. Although I'm moving more towards how Wisconsin's the most important, which is why J.D. Vance is coming to lacrosse. I just got a text message from J.D. Vance. I feel so honored. For lacrosse, right, tomorrow. Trump was in was Green Bay just the other day. I mean, it comes down to Wisconsin in many regards. So let's just say Trump wins Pennsylvania, right? Give Kamala North Carolina and Georgia. That's how she wins, right? I mean, I just don't see it, man. That's pretty huge if she could pull that off.
Yeah, North Carolina's looking better for her than Georgia is.
Yeah, and take Georgia away from her and give that back to Trump. In
Dead even.
Yeah, then it comes down to Nevada.
Yeah. Well, how come we don't have a majority here? Oh, you got Nevada. Oh, Nevada was out of the game? Okay, put Nevada blue. No, I'm sorry, Nevada red. Nevada red. Yeah, so it really does come down to Nevada. So she's basically got to either win Georgia. Yeah, it really comes down. So her pathway, if she loses one of the blue walls, is very tough. It's very tough. You guys see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And all the polling, and if you just go to Real Clear Politics, let's just do this on the fly, Dawson.
Yeah, there was one quick comment I just saw. Bill Dangsman said, when she comes out in favor of legalizing cocaine, maybe we'll have a talk. Until then, F off, Kamala. Who knows?
Man. Real Clear Politics. Go to, let's see here.
This is a nasty landing page.
It's very busy. You go to elections on the top, election 2024. You see election above that.
And Razzle Dazzle says something interesting I didn't know. They
on the
say
top,
she pulled her ad/campaign in North Carolina a week ago. She doesn't win there. So that's interesting. If Kamala has lost all faith in North Carolina, that's not good for her.
Yeah. Oh, no, she's going to lose North Carolina. It's amazing it was even close. Do you see top battleground? You got to scroll down. It's like 6 deep. Top battlegrounds right there. The whole election, we've said this over and over again, comes down to the top battlegrounds. Right now, Trump, what does it say Trump? For some reason, our screen is blurry.
48.5 to 47.
What's the margin, though?
Plus 0.9.
Okay, yeah. And it's pretty much been that for weeks.
Yeah.
So she's pulled ahead, just by the couple of the other polls in Wisconsin, in Michigan. But and by the way, all these are margin of error, but there's no doubt been momentum by Trump. I think the polls are going to be a miss again. They try to correct the polls from last time. The polls are junk. They really are junk. And you're going to see them be exposed, I think, in this election cycle. Essentially, the pollsters really hope it's close. They hope it's a nail biter. If it's big one way or the other, and I just don't see it, I could be wrong, I just don't see it being really big in Kamala's direction.
Right.
If it is, I'm going to be like, what did I... Like, if Kamala wins, and I'm not saying I would be that shocked Kamala wins this thing, okay? Because that's quite the machine. But if she wins, it's close. I wouldn't be shocked, though, Trump pulls off a massive victory because they missed it and they underestimated it and they thought just the hatred of Trump would win it.
Mm-hmm.
And they thought we could pull off this fraud and this machine wouldn't be exposed.
Yeah, we can put up anyone.
We could put up anyone.
Right.
And by the way, if Kamala wins in a landslide, that's scary for the future of this country because the machine is that powerful. Like, I just don't believe it because the media does not have
Dominion's that powerful. Then it's not.
Well,
it's not
Dominion
that the
isn't in that many jurisdictions, right? Like, it's not that huge. I mean, obviously
that's not true. It's in 30 states or something,
Yeah, but it's not in a ton of counties. So it's like, for them to pull off a landslide would be too tricky. And then you would be able to tell, too, because the numbers would have to be like 90-10 in all of them. So, so yes. And, of course, if it's close, then fraud really comes into play.
They're going to rig it in a way that makes it look close.
I guess. I mean, that's assuming they really could do that. I don't know.
So if Kamala wins in a landslide, then it was rigged, and if she wins and it's close, it was.
If she wins in a landslide, a lot of people will be scratching their heads.
Yeah.
The pollsters are exposed because whatever they did to try to correct the Trump effect was way off, right?
Well, so that's what I think. Here's my conspiracy theory: Iowa's thing that came out where Kamala is winning by 3 points or whatever. They accidentally let it slip. They were early. They were like, "Oh, here's the results. Wait, shit. Hold on. This is for election night. Our bad."
Yeah,
so
it's ridiculous. Joe Biden would win Iowa before Kamala would. Joe Biden would win Pennsylvania before Kamala would, and I'm not convinced that he. I'm not convinced he did in 2020, especially not Iowa. So they're all. It's all. We'll see how far this country really wants to push us. That's what I have to say. I think they're going to put our citizens to the test, and if they think they can get away with rigging it, they're going to.
Is there any world in which Kamala wins this and it was fair and square?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
If she wins in a close one, I mean, the burden. So it doesn't seem to be rigged like it was last time in the sense that you've had.
Rules changing.
Yeah, the rules changing. I mean, the rules change, but I mean, we're
they're still doing that.
We're two election cycles in. Well, that's actually a good point. Yeah, that is a good point.
They're still rigging it. I mean, look at what they're doing in Pennsylvania. Josh Shapiro, he's putting illegals on the voter roll.
Yeah, that is something that needs to be answered for. Obviously, Virginia's on top of that.
Yeah.
And Arizona. There was a court order in Arizona that's really interesting, too.
Yeah.
God, there's so many things we could get into in this. But no, I think there's a chance she wins. It's just scary for the future that she does it. If she wins in landslide, it'd be a shocker to everybody. The pollsters, if Trump wins in a landslide, the pollsters go, yeah, Trump is literally an anomaly. It's impossible for us to evaluate his support. And there's a lot of explanations for why that is. We've brought him up on the show many times. But if Kamala wins by a lot, what do the pollsters say? Like right now the pollsters on average have Trump winning, right?
What would they just allude to? Like the turnout was crazier than we've ever seen.
I guess.
Like women voted 2-1 or something. I don't know.
I guess, right?
Yeah. I mean, the numbers don't bear it out at all. And the election day numbers are going to be obviously in favor of Republicans. It always is that way. Republicans have done nothing but increase their numbers for early voting. So if Kamala wins in a landslide, we're being lied to.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, listen, Kamala does turn out some people to rallies. So, I mean, there's energy on that side. She's hit fundraising records. So it's not like it's not nothing. She's going to motivate a lot of people. As goofy as that is, there's a lot of celebrities coming out for her. I don't think you can just explain it because they went to P. Diddy's party. I think that's dumb.
Some of that is, it seems every single one of them is supporting Kamala. It's like,
I think these celebrities hate Donald Trump, and that's what motivates them to do it.
I know, but some of it was weird. When they said, I saw LeBron James, he made his endorsement on the fact of the Puerto Rico joke. It's like, it's unbelievable how stupid these people are. And I don't believe that that's what he was actually basing his vote on.
No, he was going to do it anyhow, and they just gave an excuse
But
for
it's ridiculous. Yeah. What an excuse. A joke made by a comedian, not affiliated with the campaign, is somehow, that's, I don't know. It's ridiculous. That's what you would base your vote around.
Is he not affiliated with the campaign if he gave a speech?
Well, he was at the rally, but I'm saying he's not. It's not like he's a part of the Trump team.
How does that work? Do you have to sign up? Like, do they pay you to do it?
Yeah, it was an open mic.
Yeah, I just don't know.
Tony Hinchcliffe was doing open mic at the Trump rally. Oh my God. All right. I think I covered what I wanted to cover tonight. I wanted to get this off my chest before election night. We're going to do live coverage here. If you're watching this show, you're a fan of the show, you're most likely going to care about the same results we care about. So we're going to present those to you. We're going to have Tushi in studio. Jesse might be there. We're going to have a lot of other people. Hey, maybe we'll have Brad Ganser. We'll watch Brad Ganser's results with him live. I don't know, maybe so it's his own party. But we'll have a rocking good time here. All of our subscribers, if you are in our subscribers, what was it? The post shows? Locals, yeah, subscribers. We should have like something catchy like Crowder does. Mug Club,
Call them gamers. That's what I do.
Whatever. You guys can come to the party here, by the way, at Liberty headquarters. So on election night, we're going to be doing live results. Speaking of Crowder, I think Crowder, if I saw it, I don't watch the show much, but I want to say I saw them say that they're going to broadcast live until they know who the next president is, which is kind of scary. We will not do that. We will be done at some point. I have something going on Wednesday I got to do, so
I gotta work.
I doubt we will go past midnight, okay? But you'll learn a lot about Minnesota politics in that time. By the way, if New Hampshire falls early in the night to Trump, I mean, like, we'll probably know at that point. If Virginia's trending Trump, we'll probably know. So there are things we'll probably know by that point. But anyhow, Truthers, that's a good one. Tucker 91 Truthers, that's what we should call them. All right, well, thank you so much to Love Minnesota. Nice big Rumble rant. Thanks to our sponsor, Warren Wessel of Keller Williams Realty. If you're looking to buy a home or sell a home, give Warren Wessel a call. If you're buying a home, give the good guys at John Galt Mortgage Company a chance at financing that home. Go to johngaltmortgage.com. And thank you to Alpine Cabinetry, a great sponsor of our show and just a fantastic businessman, and Steve that runs that company. The Hurt Truthers, says Scuba McSalty. I love it. Absolutely love it. Love our audience. Great audience. Was it Tucker? Was the other Rumble rant? No, Failed Candidate, other Rumble rant. Thank you so much. You guys powered the show. If you want to join us, you can, as a subscriber, you can click on Rumble and click join on there, or go to truthhurtsnews.com. We've got 2 days left. I mean, we'll be back in this seat. It's messing with me that clock is not up to date.
I know,
right? So we'll be back in these seats in just less than 48 hours. I think coverage will start probably about 7:45 on election night. And we're going to have our predictions. Tushi wants us to do, like, we got to create a graphic, like they do football games. What's your pick? So we're going to have probably some of the battleground states, and then we'll have, like, some maybe Minnesota races and stuff like that.
The better way to do that is a dry erase board, so you can actually get up and.
You lazy son of a bitch.
Well,
my God.
I can't make a graphic for every state and every
I don't know.
Unless I use one of those maps.
Well, we'll talk about it in the thread. Tushi's got ideas, and he's an ideas man. He's great. So anyhow, we'll be back. Live coverage Tuesday night. We'll see you then. Take care.